weekend series, and just in time for the big weekend series, Chad Bettis returned to see some of his teammates. Chad, who was told March 10th that testicular cancer had returned, has undergone treatment for the last month, and today, for the first time since the team left for Milwaukee, he was able to see his teammates. It meant a lot to his teammates. It meant a lot to the manager. It meant a lot to the coaches. But most importantly, it meant a lot to Chad Bettis.
This is what I needed. You know, it's been great to walk in through those doors, and the first question is, how are you doing and how's the baby? So it's been great. It's something to kind of keep my mind off of it too, and focus a little bit more on, you know, how can I help some of these guys and our team even when I'm sitting at home. So no, you know, I really haven't missed a game, and it's been good. You know, it's been tough to be away from the team and some of our guys, and you know, it's the support I've gotten from him has been unbelievable, and I think from that standpoint, that's why it's been so hard.
Well, the team has rallied around Chad Bettis, and today Chad gets a rally with the team. He will be in the dugout for this weekend series. Chad has also told me to tell you, the fans, thank you for supporting him, sending the emails, the tweets, all the social media. It has helped him out a ton. He has about 3 more weeks of treatment. May 17th is when he's officially done. So it's really good to see Chad Bettis. Now it's time for some baseball. 2 teams battling it out in the desert for first place. It might be snowing in the mountains, but it's going to be hot out here. Rocks, Diamondbacks next.
Well, in many ways, it seems like we just left the desert, probably because it was only a few weeks ago. Rockies were wrapping up spring training, and about a 20-minute drive from Salt River Fields lies Chase Field downtown. It's the first official matchup this year between the Rockies and Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have slid a half game in front of Colorado. Both teams off to very fine starts. Charlie Blackman, he's off to a fine start, 304 average. And Charlie has already hit 7 home runs. Here's the Southwest batting order for Buddy Black. Trevor Story is going to bat second. DJ LeMahieu's fine, just getting the first part of the evening off. Then Arenado, Cargo, Reynolds, Parr, Pat Valenka's in at second. Garneau against the left-hander Robbie Ray is behind the plate. Kyle Freeland has the baseball today, and we are set for baseball. And the first pitch of the ball game poured over the outside corner from Ray for strike one. Ray has one of the livelier left-handed or left arms among starters in baseball.
Well, he's real lanky too, and so he throws some arms and legs at you and then just whips the baseball coming in. This season 2-0 and 4 starts with a 3.42 ERA. A lot of strikeouts. 30 strikeouts. He will throw fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, but his slider's his out pitch. That's the one he likes to throw, and that's where he's gotten the majority of the strikeouts.
I don't know about that, but Marvin Hudson thought Charlie swung the bat. I thought he held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Charlie has owned Robbie Ray, though. He is 11 for 19 with 2 home runs and 6 driven in against Ray.
Lefties don't intimidate Charlie. I think that's a thing. Nobody does, but I'm just saying, I think back to some of the swings he takes against Kershaw or Bumgarner. You know, Robbie Ray this year, lefties hitting just .063 against him, 1 for 16.
Yeah, but not a huge sample size.
No.
Last year, lefties hit in the mid 250s against him.
Yeah, 251.
And that's sharply hit, but at Paul Goldschmidt. 1 out. Let's take a look at Arizona defensively. They just had a series win against San Diego. They're 11-3 at home. And our old friend Chris Arenado, he's on his 4th major league club. Chris doing the catching tonight. Tomas Pollock and Peralta in the outfield. Daniel Descalso, a Rocky the last couple of years. He's at 3rd. Owings and Brandon Drury up the middle. It's good to see Chris. Got to visit with him a little bit before the ball game. Seattle last year and for several seasons with the Angels after he was traded there from the Rockies. Hard curveball is down low, ball 1 on Story. So he returns to the to where it all began. Trevor Story. Boy, did he torment the Diamondbacks last year. 2 home runs opening day against Zach Greinke. 5 on the season at Chase Field.
Hit 286 here at Chase. Who can forget his home runs, 1 to right and then 1 to left. I was kidding with Trevor today in the dugout before the ball game. I said, "Hey, you're hitting second tonight." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "This is where I hit a lot in the minor leagues, but last season he loved facing the Snakes." 13 ball games, 6 home runs, close to a 300 average combined. OPS off the charts.
Rockies have had success against Robbie Ray in the past, particularly last year. The fastball at 95. Ray last year 1-1 with an 8.50 ERA against the Rockies. 18 innings. He gave up 17 runs. 2-1 lifetime with a 5.30 ERA against Colorado. And he swings through a fastball at 96. 2 outs.
Robbie's not afraid to pitch up in the zone with the fastball. You know, some guys don't like to. They think everything has to be down. But he'll elevate when need be.
So here's Nolan hitting .314. He's got 7 home runs, 16 driven in, and OPS above 1,000. That's on the outside corner, also at 96. Robbie Ray last year was one of 5 left-handers to strike out more than 200. He had 218 punch-outs last year. And really, as a whole, this Diamondback staff, when you look at what they've done in April, they're winning a lot of games. They've been dominant at home, scoring a ton of runs, as we mentioned, here at home. But their staff, their rotation in particular, has struck out a lot of hitters.
What a lower ERA for their staff too compared to last year. Last year at home their ERA was 5.88 as a starting staff. This year it's down into the 340s. Right, that you're talking about almost 2.5 runs less. I know it's a small sample size, smaller, but still that's a big number.
Yeah, it's a huge drop off, and it's been their rotation. It's right now has the 5th lowest ERA in baseball. They're a confident bunch, but so is the team they're playing.
That's right.
3-1 on Arenado. And Nolan drives this to deep left field, and it is going to hop over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double. You got a 3-1 fastball down and in. He dropped the head on it.
Well, is it surprising? Because it's the first inning. No, it's not. He does this all the time in the first inning. Saw it yesterday, a home run. I mean, this is Nolan. Prime Nolan.
Nolan being Nolan, right?
That's right. This just had too much topspin on it to get out. Goes down and gets it, takes the top hand off. I don't think it would have snuck over the fence even if he hadn't hit it into that little triangle area where it juts out from the foul pole to the seats in left field.
2 outs. Here's Cargo. And Cargo has had his moments against Ray. 4 for 12 with a home run. Cargo had the day off yesterday. Playing against the team that originally signed him. This could be a good matchup for Cargo, because Cargo, even though he's off to a very slow start, against 4-seam fastballs this year, has one of the highest exit velocities in baseball.
Yeah, over
so
92 miles an hour, top 5.
Two and 0.
There's Chris.
They use 3 different catchers. They have Chris, obviously. They have Jeff Mathis, another veteran guy, and Chris Herman, who's one of those really versatile guys.
Super utility guys. Can go behind the plate, play the outfield.
Back up the middle and on through, base hit, and that'll get it done. Nolan comes home. Cargo with an RBI single, and a nice start for Colorado on this road trip.
That probably wasn't 92 miles an hour off the bat of the exit velocity, but where he hit it was perfect. 95 mile an hour 4-seam fastball, chops it in front of home plate, and I know they try to kind of make that a little softer there. This infield always playing here was always one of the fastest infields there was. So that's in front of home plate, though. You'll see a little different coloring. They tried to really water that down.
Here's a former Diamondback in Mark Reynolds. And no swing. What else was interesting about that? Every team shifts or heavy shades against Cargo. And Arizona did not. Chris Owings was in a conventional spot. And you'll see teams, even with a runner on second, they can line up the second baseman behind the bag and he can still check on the runner naturally. If he was in that position, then it's inning over.
Think about how many balls that Cargo hit in that series against Washington, where Trey Turner made the play up the middle because they were shifted on him. I don't know, you know, with Washington, they would have that guy's shortstop sometimes on the second base side. Not there.
Reynolds holds up, 2 balls and a strike. Mark off to a fabulous start at .317. He's driven in 20 with 7 home runs. He and Charlie and Nolan all tied for the club lead in home runs. So he's hit a bunch of home runs at Chase Field. Asked him around the batting cage there, is anybody left from when you were here? And he said the last guy was Gerardo Parra.
I was going to say that.
And they're reunited
now.
Yeah.
Same
last couple
teammate.
years, yeah.
There's a lot of homecomings between where you were talking about Chris Iannetta and Daniel Descalso. Don't forget about Jorge out in the bullpen.
That's right. Jorge De La Rosa, who's become an instrumental part of their bullpen leg. There's Gerardo. Of course, Cargo, who's at first, has ties to Arizona. That was his original organization. Came up through the minor leagues with his buddy Parra. 3-1. And ball 4. Boy, this is a perfect start, especially if you can add on again here with 2 outs. You're forcing Robbie Ray into a number of pitches early. And Robbie Ray has pitched well this year, but he's coming off, Huey, his poorest start.
Yeah, it took him 102 pitches just navigate through 5 1/3 against the Dodgers. He gave up 5 earned runs, couple walks, including a home run, 9 hits in that game against the Dodgers. And that was here at Chase Field.
And you got another left-handed bat who's had success against Ray. Gerardo's 3 for 5 lifetime against Robbie Ray. It makes sense. Rockies are a great fastball hitting team, and Robbie Ray, as he should be, is proud of his heater. But he's now spiking his breaking ball.
He's got a little defensive here. Maybe I understand it, the 3-1 slider to Mark down in the dirt with the left-hander on deck.
We were talking about this earlier, Huey. With Robbie Ray, you have to make him get his arsenal in the strike zone. And you say, well, that's obvious. You want everybody to. But Robbie Ray, even though he's got that big arm, only 40.6% of his pitches have been in the strike zone this year, which is the lowest amount of strikes in Major League Baseball. So, well, how's he been successful? He gets people to chase. So you have to stay disciplined.
Yeah, a lot of swing and misses, not many balls put in play when they do swing. So, but that's the hard thing as a hitter, to understand that, well, I've got to narrow my focus down to make sure that I get him into my zone.
This ball's ripped to second, but Drury's there. So a nice start for the Rockies with 2 outs. They get a double from Nolan Cardinal with a base hit. And the Rockies have a 1-0 lead for Kyle Freeland in the desert. Jefferson High School's Kyle Freeland. And Kyle, in his last outing, was magnificent for 7 innings and shutting down the Giants. A.J. Pollock will be the first up for Arizona. Here's the Southwest batting order for the Diamondbacks. In the 2 spot is Chris Owings and Paul Goldschmidt. Yasmani Tomas off to a great start. First 5 hitters, 6 hitters, I should say, all hitting over 300. Drury, Peralta, Arenado, Descalso about 8th, and then Robbie Ray, he's 4 for 8. How about that?
4 for 8 for the pitcher. We're going to have to go up against Kyle Freeland, as you mentioned, Drew, the best start of his young career. He had 12 ground ball outs in that affair. In the first 4 innings, he only threw 35 pitches. Fastball, cutter, changeup, slider, conventional mix for Kyle, and he really worked hard in his last start on being more directional to the plate, keeping his head on line, not getting rotational, falling off, and I think that made a huge difference in the way he was able to fill up the strike zone.
2-0. I know one trend the Rockies want to turn around from the last few days is the number of walks that they had, and it's walks in general, and obviously in particular they walked the pitcher a couple of times and gave up a knock to a light hitting pitcher. Ooh, that just missed. 3-0.
And Buddy was, you know, was just eating at him, because that's not the type of pitcher he was. He was a guy that made you earn your keep at the plate.
Yep, be aggressive. At the knees, 3-1 on Pollock. Maybe it was a little below the knees, called a strike. That's why Pollock looked back at John Byrne, young umpire. Pollock at Notre Dame. Here's the 3-1 and a bouncer to short. Good pick up by Trevor Story.
And that's a good sign, too. Even on a 3-1, you get the 3-hopper to shortstop. The last start against San Francisco, 93 pitches was all he needed. 3 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and he was a ground ball machine.
I think my favorite pitch was that slider he got Belt on.
Yeah, yes. That was just good.
A little bit of traffic.
That's right. There was still a big point in that ball game, and then also getting Brandon Crawford. I just love how fired up he was after that strikeout.
Yeah. Great outing for Kyle Freeland. 2-1 with a 3.32 ERA early in his career. Here's Chris Owings. And Owings bounces one to second. Valleca's there. Gets rid of it quickly, knowing that Owings can run. Well, let's take a look at the Rockies defense. It's Parra, Blackman, and Cargo in the outfield. Pat Valleca, excuse me, getting the start yesterday in left field. Got to start, getting the start tonight at second base. Coffee caught in my throat, and now I can't speak. DJ is fine. I want to reiterate that. You're very likely to see him later on in the ball game.
Well, especially with the 4-man bench.
So here's Paul Goldschmidt. Good pitch. Not called a strike, so it's 1-0. He's been a lot like Paul Goldschmidt. You know, he was, by his standards, scuffling for a couple of days. So they gave him a day off earlier in the week. And then in the next 3 games against San Diego, he went 8 for 11.
6 RBIs. That on-base percentage is .786. Slugged over 1,000. Well, that's Paul Goldschmidt to a T.
Garneau sets a low target away. And it's 3-0. He fell behind Pollock 3-0, came all the way back to get him.
You don't want to do that too much. And with the young umpire behind the plate, sometimes you're trying to get a feel for where his strike zone is as well.
3-1.
With the veteran guys, you say, well, you know, so-and-so, Jim's got a great zone low and inside, but, you know, Sammy doesn't. He's more up and away type of guy.
You kind of knew going in, didn't you, with the veteran guys?
Right. You know, whose strike zone was where.
3-1, and this is going to be out of play down the right field line. So it's 3-2 on Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt's one of those unique guys so far this year, along with a guy the Rockies just saw and are glad they're not seeing him for a while. More walks this year than strikeouts. Harper 20 and 14. Paul Goldschmidt 19 walks, just 16 punch outs.
And I think with the top 2 guys, as much power as they have is unique.
Yeah, very much so. Here's the 3-2. That was a good spot at 94. Remember last year Goldschmidt got off to a slow start. Boy, he made up for it, didn't he?
We said it in our open, and I'll say it again. I think, you know, it's quite a treat here because you have 2 of the best players in the game in Goldschmidt and Nolan, but still 2, I think, some of the most underrated players.
Yes, I would agree with that. That's a good pitch. Change speeds a little bit. Goldschmidt just did get a piece of it.
We've been firing a lot of 94-mile-an-hour fastballs and then turns that one over at 84. And Goldschmidt, good thing he's 6'4" because he needed every bit of that to reach that ball.
Goldschmidt, because of the slow start last year, did not hit 300. He hit 297 after 3 straight years above 300, but he's still 33 doubles, 24 homers, 95 driven in. That was 95. I mean, he's gone away. He's gone soft away, and now he came up in the zone.
It used to be with Goldschmidt, you could try to get him out inside, because he was more hitting it to right field. But now if you come in there and make a mistake, he'll hit it into the Friday's front row.
See if he goes slider here. He did, but he missed. So Goldschmidt draws a 2-out walk, and now that's 31 straight games at Chase Field against the Rockies that Paul Goldschmidt has reached. You know, you look at Arizona's lineup, and you can't help but think this is somewhat similar up and down the lineup to a Rockies type of lineup, to a Nationals type of lineup. There's not a lot of breathing room, especially the first 6.
Well, they're all, as you said, they're all hitting over 300. Tomas, you know, has some power. Really, they all do here at this ballpark.
Goldschmidt, you have to keep an eye on. He is an outstanding base runner and base stealer.
He already has 6 stolen bases, and for the Arizona Diamondbacks as a club, they have 27. That leads Major League Baseball.
And they were that way last year. They had a tough year last year in terms of wins and losses, but they were 3rd in baseball in steals outside. Goldschmidt stole 32 bases last year. The 2nd first baseman in Major League history with 20+ homers and 30+ steals. The Hall of Famer now, Jeff Bagwell.
30 steals is a hard number to reach.
That's a big number. You just never think of first baseman that way. 1 and 1.
No, I've said this before, and you've heard me say it, Drew. You think about 20 stolen bases, and that's kind of a decent number. But if you think about it, it's just a little over 3 stolen bases a month. So when you break it down that way, yeah, 20's okay.
Yeah.
But 30 now puts you in a different category.
Different category. Especially when you're hitting in the middle of the order, Jeff, you're not going to have as many opportunities to run.
Well, you wouldn't think so, but even last year, the manager, and this year with Torey Lovello, they said, go ahead. You've got the green light. You've earned that now.
He has been successful on 24 straight attempts. Cargo's not going to have a play. This is going to land in no man's land.
I thought that was going to get into the seats off the bat, and then it just stayed on line. Too far of a run for Cargo and or Mark Reynolds.
One and 2 on Yasmani Tomas. It's not just Goldschmidt. They have a bunch of guys in that lineup that will work counts. They don't give away at bats. On the ground is short, and a nice pickup there by Story. Flips to Valleca. So there was a walk, otherwise 3 ground balls. Solid start for Freeland. 1-0 Colorado. Sports is brought to you by the 2017 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. And by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Roof is closed tonight, but quite frankly, they could have opened it up. It was very pleasant today in the desert. Temperature in the mid-80s.
I think it was the high winds today. Little dust blowing around is the reason.
I remember 2 of the 3 series that the Rockies played at Chase last year. The roof was open, and the ball flies here no matter what. But when the roof's open, it really flies.
In a different environment, too, not so sterile.
Agreed. Here's Pat Valaika batting 7th in the Rockies lineup. Curveball's down low. Rockies got a 2-out run in the first. Nolan a ground rule double, and then Cargo bounced one up the middle. Ball and a strike on Valaika. I just put oil in the snowblower. Sorry, Greg. Yeah. In the air to shallow right center, and Peralta comes on and makes a catch. 1 out, and that'll bring up Dustin Garneau. Well, you know the drill, folks. Send us your thoughts, comments, photos. Must use the hashtag Toyota Talk. You can reach us through Twitter or Instagram. Look forward to some of your thoughts tonight. Dustin Garneau with 1 out. Rockies will play a 6-game road trip, or have a 6-game road trip. 3 here. Monday's an off day in San Diego, which is awful. Yeah,
That's
terrible.
a shame.
Don't know what we'll do with ourselves. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon. And no television Thursday from San Diego. Betting the Rockies are excited to be in Arizona tonight. I think I'd be excited too. Yeah.
I just hope we don't lose some trees back home.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You know, as great as our weather is, and especially it seems in February and March the last few years, this ball's driven to left field and deep, and it is caught.
Wow.
Yasmani Tomas, who's never been known for his glove, just took a double away from Garneau.
I thought that was a sure double over his head. You know, they tried Yasmani at third when he first came over with Arizona. Wasn't good there. They've tried him in the outfield. This is a pretty good running catch. He turns and runs to a spot and then reaches up within the last stride and a half to snag that before hitting the wall.
Yeah, Tomas out in right field. He was starting to get that moniker. What position do you play? Hitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That with that catch that he made out, I didn't expect that off the bat.
2 strikes on Freeland. Kyle's thrown out a couple hits already in his very young big league career.
Both of them have been to the pole side.
So Robbie Ray has a 1-2-3 second. The Rockies in the middle of the second have a 1-0 lead in the desert.
Diamondbacks in the desert. We headed to the bottom of the second inning. If you don't know, Chad Bettis has returned to the Rockies today. It's the first time he's seen his teammates in about a month. He has been dealing with chemotherapy. He has a couple more weeks left, but today was a special day, and Bud Black acknowledged that.
We were in a coaches meeting, and we heard a knock on the door. And one of the coaches opened the door, and there was Chad. And we were all like, pumped. A lot of guy hugs, a lot of good squeezes. Man, it was great. It was good to see him. Great smile. Looked great. Physically looked good. So we're looking forward to having him here today and tomorrow and Sunday in the dugout with the guys. It's great to see him.
Well, Chad has been in the dugout already, helping the rally in the first inning, and he's been talking about watching every single game since he's been dealing with the treatment. He also has a brand new 1-month-old baby daughter, and he's been having his hands full. He wanted to thank all the people out there that were outpouring and supporting him with tweets and emails and text messages. It meant all the world to him. So, guys, it's nice to see Chad Bettis back.
Oh, it's great to see Chad back, and he looks terrific, and the spirit is outstanding, which it always is around Chad. And we were chatting a little bit, and you'll hear some of that interview on pre and post game shows in the club, I'm sure, later this week. But one of the things that we chatted about, and there is Chad, is about the fact that his baby girl, one day he'll be able to explain that she was a double blessing for him. He said, of course, his wife Christina as well.
Yeah, I was asking him about that today. He goes, it just helps my day so much more when I'm able to hold her, see her, and her smile.
Brandon Drury hits a fly ball to Cargo and right, 1 out.
But just to be able to go up to Chad today and give him a big hug and say, man, it's so good to see you again. I mean, it lifted my spirits.
Yeah, really did. That's who he is. He's an uplifting guy anyhow. And he's in a tremendous place. He's got 3 more weeks, 7 more sessions of chemo. The other thing he's doing, and Spilly did a great job of saying how overwhelmed he was, and he's still trying to get back to everybody who has reached out. He is in the process of starting a foundation that is going to aid in particular with testicular cancer. 0-1 on Peralta. 1 ball, 1 strike on David Peralta. Ground ball foul. Waved at by Tony Perez-Chica. Words will never be enough. I love you both. This was a picture that Chad posted on Twitter not all that long ago. That is such a beautiful picture. I hope they blow that up and have that framed in the house somewhere. 1-2.
Have to. What a touching photo.
Yeah. He watches every night. He barely missed a pitch. Yeah. And he's in constant contact with his teammates. 1-2. Over through that. 3-2.
So we're throwing the last 2 pitches. Just outside the last one was down in the Subaru strike zone, but the one before that just up and out.
Take a little walk, get your mind right. Here's the 3-2. Line to center field. Charlie lays out, and he did not make the catch, according to the second base umpire. Jerry Lane. And I'm seeing if Charlie's arguing. Is he raising his hand? Is he?
Well,
they're going to look at it inside. There's Mike Redmond. He's going to talk to Brian Jones.
Just took a long time for Jerry to decide what it was going to be.
Look from there. It looks like he caught it, right?
Yeah.
This will.
It's a better angle.
This will be able to. He caught that. That's an out.
Yep.
That'll get flipped.
Yeah. Go to the head. Go ahead and go to the headphones. This will take about 15 seconds.
That last one, yeah. Charlie said, I caught it.
I caught it. But I don't understand why Charlie didn't know it first. When you're sliding, your glove hits the ground. You don't know if it's your hand, the ball going where, and you're sliding on your knees. So watch the hand and the glove go down. Sometimes it's tough to tell if that got in there right away, but that's easy.
That won't take 15 seconds. That'll take about 3 seconds.
The Major League average, we just got some numbers on it today. The Major League average for replays has been 1 minute and 33 seconds.
This will lower that average. It ought to.
I don't even know why they should have already taken the headphones off.
There it goes.
And Peralta, you can go back to the dugout.
That's a great catch. And Huey, you played some outfield in your big league career. Obviously, your primary position was shortstop, but there's a science to stay healthy in how you slide to make a sliding or diving catch.
And that was prime example. That's, if you're going to look at something, that's what you want to do. It's almost like sliding into a base. So you're going in, and the way he did it and the way that he had to reach, it also limits the stress on the shoulders, because that's where you get injuries too when you're diving. That stress, you're running so hard and you pound it, shoulder can pop out.
Spilly, he did it perfectly, didn't he?
He did it perfectly. Well, it all starts with the first step. He had a great read, and right off the bat, we always talk about the type of angles you take. Line drives are really difficult. I almost say you take a post route. You almost run it at an angle, and then you make the adjustment when you see the flight of the ball. And Charlie, off the bat, took the perfect angle. When you dive like that, though, you have to make sure you catch it. Otherwise, that's a triple.
And that's always the thought in the back of your mind, too. Is like, oh, boy, if I don't catch this or at least knock it down, I'm going to go have to chase it back to the wall.
Yeah, that's why you make sure you catch it.
Always good advice,
That's
Billy.
great advice.
1-1 on Chris Arenado. Took something off or turned that two-seamer over. That had a lot of late sink on it. 1-2 on Arenado.
Well, he gets a lot of spin on that two-seamer. The spin rate that we talk about, well over 22 revolutions per minute.
And there's a ground ball to short. Story's been busy. Another good inning for Freeland. 1-2-3 in the second. Rockies up 1-0. Ton of Rockies fans. Good to see those folks here tonight. 1-0 Colorado as we go to the third. Folks, if the Rockies score 7 runs or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Well, here's Chuck Nasty after that amazing catch, and on the homestand he was amazing with the bat. 13 for 29 computes to a .448 average. 4 bombs, 3 doubles, 2 triples, the inside the park home run. He did everything.
And I think he saved a cat from a tree too. It was after he left the ballpark. 2. Yeah.
1 on Monday and then again on Friday.
And it helped an elderly person across the street. I mean, what else could he possibly do?
He doubles as a crossing guard. You're right. Here's the 1-0, and that's down low. 2-0. Charlie hit it sharply his first time upright at Paul Goldschmidt. Melissa, you're right. Charlie does not need a cape. He has made himself, over the last few years, an elite player. This is in the air to shallow right. Backpedaling is Drury to make the catch. 1 out. That'll bring up Story. Story struck out swinging his first time.
Shortstop, Trevor Story.
One 1-0 on Trevor. Rockies finished that homestand 4-3. It didn't feel that way, obviously, because of the last few days, but they won their first 4 games, outscoring the opposition. The first 3 against the Giants, first one against Washington, 34-12. This ball's hammered to center field, and this thing is gone. Trevor has come to his second home. Chase Field in Phoenix, and he makes it 2-0. That was a bomb.
I mean, you're talking about big boy territory, right to the right of dead center field, up into the porch out there. 5th home run this season for Trevor. Yeah, 5th. Everything's connected with this swing too. That's such a great feeling when you're at the plate, struck out your first time, and then you come back with a monster shot and a 2-0 lead.
That's already his 6th home run in Phoenix, and he's played only 10 games here.
Subaru Supermo, full extension. Also that front foot, how he gets through that, it kind of opens up. And when you stride, you want to land at about a 45-degree angle, and then it opens from there. That helps clear the hips.
Barra saying you detonated something there. He's strong, man. He is some kind of strong. That was great to see. 2-1 on Nolan. He had a 2-out double to the left field corner, bounced over the fence. A rule book double, and then Cargo brought him home with a single up the middle. That's inside. And ball 4. That is the second walk issued by Robbie Ray. 1 out, 1 on, a run in, and here comes Cargo. Story time in Arizona again.
A lot of story time last year. They just wanted to write a sequel.
Nice, Huey.
Thank you.
And I thought every
possible
usage had been thrown out there, and then you added one. I like it.
Well, because I knew Spilly was here and he was doing sidelines, because he's the one that started it last year. Every time we had a Story pun, we had to throw $1 into the pot. The problem was, though, I'd always give Spilly $1 and I'd never see any change. I never saw anything from it.
See, that's where you're foolish.
Right.
Got to know his background. Here's the 0-1 to Cargo.
Ooh, he almost missed that ball.
Yeah, he almost whiffed on that. 2 outs, and Nolan's in scoring position, and that'll bring up Mark Reynolds.
Steady diet of off-speed pitches last time for Mark. See how carefully they pitched him with first base open. And Gerardo on deck.
Reynolds walked his first time. Mark also has an OPS over 1,000 this year. This is a great offensive ballpark. Last year in combined runs, he was second to Coors Field. Average better than 11 runs a game here. Coors Field slightly over 12 runs combined a game. 1-1 to Reynolds. Great background to hit. Phenomenal background to hit.
That's one of my favorites to hit at. You know, when I was playing, because of that batter's eye in center field. You know, Coors is great because there's no distractions. You can pick the ball up.
Ball flies here too.
And it jumps. Milwaukee's another one that has a big batter's eye.
And Robbie Ray goes breaking ball and strikes out Mark Reynolds. In the inning, Trevor Story hits one out to center field, and the Rockies have a 2-0 lead in the third. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by the Wyoming Office of Tourism. Wyoming is full of adventure. It's time to find out if you are too. That's why. TravelWyoming.com. Friday night, Phoenix, and the Rockies lead 2-0. Last inning was Trevor Story hitting a monstrous home run. Here's Daniel Descalso, 2 years with the Rockies. Now playing for the Snakes. He takes strike one.
Played for Team Italy, the WBC.
And this is going to be a tough play. Freeland out. Thankfully, you had a real athletic guy coming off the mound. That was bang, bang at first. But Reynolds with the great flip, and Freeland got his foot on the bag just in time.
And I don't think he used his glove to catch this baseball. So he breaks off the mound. If there's any hesitation, it's going to be safe for Daniel. But the flip underhand, oh, he kind of caught it simultaneously. And that's hard for the pitcher, too, because you're trying to catch the ball. Where's the bag? And the runner's bearing down on your Achilles heel.
I have to tell you what, Mark Reynolds, every night it seems like he does something. A lot of times it's subtle, and you realize just how good he's become at first base. And we always remind you that this was a college shortstop. Initially in professional baseball, he's a shortstop, so you know he's a great athlete. Played third for Arizona. But even that feed, Huey, you were over there, that leading him perfectly but firmly enough that he's not trying to catch a changeup.
Yeah, so you sit there and go, oh, how hard is he going to throw it? But it just floats up there so softly, almost like an alley-oop in basketball. You know, you see those guys, they just time it perfectly. Well, that was an alley-oop to the pitcher. But I think, you know, so many times people say, oh, just stick him at first base. Just stick the guy at first base, it's okay. Who handles the ball more than the pitcher and the catcher in a ball game?
First baseman.
There you go. So you don't want just somebody over there, a body.
1-2 on Robbie Ray.
Okay, he threw you a curveball to strike you out.
Well,
talking about Robbie
what you want
to Kyle Freeland.
What you want to see, number one in this series is 3 victories. The second thing, you don't want to see any pitcher on base after that Washington series. We're talking about first base play. Ian Desmond got to play a lot of baseball today. Some first base, some left field, in extended spring. And the Rockies group was over playing the Giants young group, and Desmond got to lead off every inning. The first swing he took, and all eyes were on him, Jeff Bridich and his staff, and
Buddy and the coaching staff.
Buddy and the coaching staff were over there. First swing he took, home run. He ended up having, I think it was 6 or 7 at bats.
I think it was 7.
It was at 7 at bats. He had a single, and then later on, he came up against a young kid for San Francisco who threw really, really hard. And he's a young kid, and you remember when you were rehabbing, you don't want to face those guys because they throw hard, but they typically don't know where it's going. And the manager for the Giants went over out of respect and said to the Rockies, said, I don't know if you want Ian to face this kid. He's, you know, privately said he's really been all over the place. And Desmond said no. He said, I want to get in there. He goes, listen, I'm going to be facing live bullets real soon, and there's not going to be any fear factor, so let me face him. Well, he threw 4 straight pitches. They were out of the zone. Desmond said, I don't want to walk. So then when he finally threw a strike, he hit it off the right center field wall for a double. He had a great day in his first live swings in a while, and folks, he is really, really close. In fact, tomorrow he's going to go out and do the same thing.
And not only that, after he got done playing in that game today in an extended spring, what does he do? I'm sure he didn't even shower up, just came over here in his uni because he was taking fly balls, he was taking ground balls. He was doing it all here too. So I mean, double dipping for baseball.
He had a full day of activity. He's going to sleep well. 1-1, and this is a fair ball.
Oh.
Nolan's not going to be able to get Pollock. He runs too well.
Well, and the ball, I believe
did it hit the bag?
It hit the bag. Because Nolan then had to readjust and catch it bare hand with no momentum behind this throw.
So he just tried to get it off as quickly as he could and bounce it over there.
Well, a normal third baseman probably wouldn't even make this. This is down into the corner. See?
Oh, you're right.
So it goes off the top of the bag, and then by that time, Nolan's so good at grabbing the ball and still making a strong throw, but when it surprises you like that, you end up throwing a changeup. Could get nothing behind the ball.
How about this? He's got the best glove we've ever seen at third base, and he has the best bare hand we've ever seen at third base.
Well, that's why he's worn gold for 4 straight years.
Owings takes high, ball 1. Owings hit a ground ball to second in inning number 1. Rockies are trying to snap not only a little 3-game slide, but they're trying to snap a 5-game losing streak against Arizona. Arizona and the Rockies last year played 19 times. Arizona won 10, the Rockies 9. But in the second half, it was all Arizona. Yeah. Not only 5 straight, but 9 of the last 13 against Colorado. The Rockies actually were 5-4 at Chase Field. Most of those wins were early, and were under 500 at Coors Field, 4-6 against the D-backs last year.
Yeah, they opened up against Arizona to start the 2016 season.
There's Torey Lovullo, new manager, came over from Boston, 4 years the bench coach there. Torey kept a couple of guys from Chip Hale's staff. See Dave Maggot's with him, Mike Butcher, Dave McKay's back.
Mike Fetters has been with the organization for a long time, out in the bullpen now.
Yeah. Former relief pitcher with Arizona. 2-0, and now it's 3-0. You want to get Owings.
Yes.
You don't want Goldschmidt coming up with traffic.
Even though for Owings, the last 6 games, he's hitting 400. You don't want the big boy wearing number 44 to follow him up with a couple men on.
And he lost him. So Freeland, after the infield hit, loses Owings. A 4-pitch walk, and here comes Goldschmidt, who had a lengthy at bat his first time up, found off a number of pitches before walking. We got a 2-0 lead. This is one of those key moments early in a baseball game.
Going over the signs.
So you got plus speed on the bases. You don't think they're going to run it. Yeah, I'm going to take the bat out of his hand, but you can't fall asleep either.
No, and that's where it makes it difficult, because at first you get a little bit bigger lead because Mark's playing so far off the line.
That's a good pitch. We saw Washington pull off a double steal yesterday, and they had Wieters as the trail runner.
That's where they should have gone to second in that situation. But here you got plus speed both at first and second.
Oh, 0-1 on Goldschmidt. Came in, missed in, 1-1.
Arizona early in this season, 24 games in, is one of the top teams. They're hitting just shy of 300 with 2 outs. Even a little higher with runners in scoring position.
Good spot. Freeland wanted that one. 2-1, but
wasn't a strike according to the Subaru strike zone. I know why Kyle wanted it. Big difference between 1-2 and 2-1.
ground ball, foul. That would have been really convenient had it stayed fair.
Just catch it, step on the bag. That was the number I was alluding to a moment ago, 292 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Two-two. And change up. 3-2.
Here's where the infielders remind each other, you know, runners are going to be going. You got to go all the way across, or if it's hitting the hole, you got to dive. Keep that run from scoring.
Up the middle, and that'll get a run home. Going first to third is Owings, and it's 2-1. Thankfully,
wow,
Kyle Freeland was able to get out of the way of that line shot. The walk to Owings comes back to hurt Kyle Freeland.
Watch how close this is to Kyle. I mean, this came ever so close. He was lucky to duck and dive out of the way. But Pollock with that infield single off the bag. I think if it doesn't hit the bag, Nolan's going to throw him out, so the inning would be over. But then the big one was the walk to Chris Owen to get to Goldschmidt, and then a 3-2 count to Paul.
This is a good meeting for Steve, because I think Steve Foster would not necessarily have come out if it was just, you know, a base hit through the 5.5 hole, but because that thing came whistling past his head, he just wants to slow things down for a moment for him with Tomas coming up.
Well, and who can blame Kyle Freeland? I mean, his heartbeat had to be twice as fast as what it normally is after that ball right towards your head.
You got Tomas to bounce into a force play. I always talk about this, that part of the growth of a young pitcher is how do you handle traffic? The good ones limit damage. And this ball's well hit to center field, but it's going to die in the glove of Charlie Blackman, and that's the way to limit damage. So a run with 2 outs. It's 2-1 Colorado. New member of the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, Dante Bichette.
Vinny's in there with him. That's what a nice tribute to those guys.
Yeah,
well deserved.
Tremendous tribute. I'm trying to think all the Rockies now in the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame. Helton, Walker's in there, I believe.
Vinny was 2 or 3 years ago.
Parr lays down a great bunt, and the throw to first is going to get it. That's a good play by Descalso at third.
He charged hard on that. If it's 6 inches more towards the line, it got away from the line a little too much. But Daniel barehanded at third base, when you're making that play as a guy that's primarily played the middle infield, you have to remember how much the ball's going to tail on you. And he didn't get quite enough of it, but he had the good footwork over at first from Paul. But you really have to rotate the hips pretty hard on that to get the sink to make sure it stays on the inside part of the line.
One strike on Valleca. He hit a pop fly to right center his first at bat. Changeup wasn't close. And that curveball misses badly.
So I just tighten the batting gloves up a little bit, saying I'm getting a fastball. Can't get either one of those pitches over.
He got a fastball at 96, but it was outside, 3-1.
We've seen a few 96 tonight. That was a sliver off the Subaru strike zone.
Full count on Valleca. Dustin Garneau is on deck. Robbie Ray from Brentwood, Tennessee. He was drafted by the Nationals out of high school and signed, turning down an opportunity to pitch at the University of Arkansas.
I like the story when he told his dad he was going to buy him a Harley when he was 12 years old.
He said, I'm going to be a pro baseball player and buy you a Harley. And when he signed, he bought his dad a Harley Davidson. 2 outs, strikeout number 4 for Robbie Ray. Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. Other than Coors Field, which National League West ballpark would you most like to visit? AT&T Park, San Francisco, down here in the desert, Dodger Stadium, Petco Park. Go to @RootSports_RM to cast your vote. We'll show you the results during our post-game show.
I know what your choice is. I think it's the same as mine.
Yeah, you know, we get that question a lot, your favorite ballparks to go to, and we'll limit this conversation to the NL West. I really enjoy coming. I enjoy going to all the cities. We're very fortunate, great cities in the National League West. This, from a broadcasting vantage point at Chase Field, is perfect. It's ideal. But the setting at AT&T Park in San Francisco is second to none. And Garneau takes another strike.
I mean, we're right behind home plate, a couple levels up.
We have Doris, who's always with us. Doris is camera shy, kind of like Dougie. No, it's not. Dougie's not camera shy. Actually, Dougie's taking a couple of days off, so he's not with us. He's going to rejoin us at Petco. Doris
nice.
has been with us for years.
We are. You're right, Drew. We're lucky in the National League West. All these cities we get to go to 3 times a year. I mean, it's as good as it gets.
Of course, Dodger Stadium is a special place. 2-2. I don't know if there's a ballpark. You know, Coors Field's one of the largest parks in baseball, and you go to Dodger Stadium, and it's just, because it's sunken in, it just seems mammoth.
Oh, and where we walk in, we're almost at the top level at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. Well, we're fortunate to call 81 games at Coors Field.
That was my next point.
Because there's nothing better than that gorgeous facility at 20th and Blake. It's great for fans. It's
great.
Had
a birthday the other day.
That's right. 22 years.
Great fans, great ballpark.
It's ideal.
It is.
3-2 on Garneau. Boy, he'd love to reach somehow and flip the lineup over. Rockies up 2-1. This is their 25th season, and for the Diamondbacks, it's their 20th season. Good swing by Dustin. Sammy, I've been to all of them. I ranked them in order. Coors first, then Petco, AT&T, Chase, Dodger Stadium. AT&T is really cool, but Petco is gorgeous. Petco is a beautiful ballpark. I just think the setting at AT&T just right out there on the water, and of course there's 40,000 plus every night. He held up. Oh, man. I don't know about that one. A 1-2-3 fourth, and maybe he did go. When we come back, Mike Redmond, bench coach, will join us from the dugout. Rockies and Diamondbacks. Mike Redmond is kind enough to join us from the Rockies dugout. Freeland did a nice job, Mike, extracting himself from a difficult situation there in the bottom of the third.
No doubt. You never want to have Goldie come up in that situation where you have to pitch him. The walk, not ideal, and he's getting in a few deep counts, but it was good to see him get through it and hang on to that one-run lead we got.
And you know what was good to see also was Trevor Story and taking the ball out to center field mechanically. That's a tough part to go to, but when you're right mechanically, he clipped it pretty good.
No doubt, and hitting in the 2-hole today, he got a good pitch, and I think, anytime you're going through a little bit of a struggle, getting pitches in the strike zone and squaring them up and keeping the big part of the field in play are huge, and he did that perfectly.
Mike, this is your first tour with the Rockies. You've been a manager. You were a longtime player. What has impressed you most about this 25-man roster you have?
Well, these guys love the position players. They love to play. I mean, these guys they're intense. They get after it. They love to compete. And we have a young pitching staff, the youngest in the league, and they're fun, eager to learn, and they go out there and compete. And they're learning at the big league level, but they're fun to watch.
Mike, we really appreciate the time.
Mike.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Mike Redmond, the bench coach for the Rockies, and he's a bundle of energy, and he works quite closely with the catchers naturally, but he's got a hand in everything. And I thought it was a great hire by Buddy Black. You get a guy that has a catching background. You get a guy, especially with the young staff, who's also been a manager.
All those things work together.
Drury thrown out by Story, his 4th assist. 1 out in the 4th. David Peralta coming up.
Well, and for Mike, he was also on Buddy's list when he was in San Diego. He tried to hire him when he was over there. It didn't work out. He was ended up down in Miami. But to have your right-hand guy, to have the knowledge, and the other thing too, have the knowledge of double switching, when to do that. Not that Buddy doesn't need any help. He's done it for a number of years with San Diego, but having that inside knowledge helps.
David Peralta, big swing and chopped it backwards. 0-1 on Peralta. He lined the ball to center field in the 2nd inning, and the defensive play of the game so far by Charlie Blackman to make a sliding catch. First ruled on the field that it was a trap, and then they reviewed it in New York, and it didn't take them very long to realize that Blackman made the catch. 1-1 on David Peralta. He's off to a terrific start. He's hitting .341. Doesn't play as much against lefties. There's a slider. Former pitcher.
He tried that for a few years with the Cardinals, and then said, no, I want to go be a position player. Very rarely do you see it that way. You see it the other way.
Rick Ankiel did it with success. And Peralta now has done it with success. 2-2. Splits for Peralta this year. On one hop to Story. 2 gone.
You want to catch the best fireworks show in town this summer on Monday, July 3rd, Tuesday, July 4th, following the game against the Cincinnati Reds.
That'll bring up Arenado.
Got that down now is 6 ground ball outs for Kyle.
He's doing his thing.
I think that's 7. 7 ground ball outs. There it is. Just hadn't added up the last one from the last 6-3.
Shallow right. It's going to drop in front of Cargo for a base hit. That was off the end of the bat. So Arenado at first with 2 outs. Chris, the all-time leader among catchers in games played for Colorado with 427. He's also produced the most RBIs among catchers in Rockies history with 225.
Most runs, most walks.
So here's Descalso. What's the conversation about between the 2 umpires, Jerry Lane, Mike Estabrook?
Well, now you're getting the crew chief.
What's happening here?
I don't know.
What could this be about? Is it a turf thing?
Oh, there might be somebody behind home plate that's
flashing maybe a light or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember we were somewhere, this goes back a few years, Huey, there was somebody in the stands who had one of those red
pins or
like
laser,
a laser light.
Yeah, laser pointer.
He was doing a PowerPoint presentation.
You just can't do that at the ballpark. It's good, if you're in the conference room.
Yeah, he didn't have a grease board to work with. He was trying to use the batter's eye. Not advisable.
No, it's not. It's a big no-no.
Descalso hit a little roller to first. His initial at bat. That's where you want to put this inning down quickly. You have the pitcher up next. You can have him leading off in the 5th. Right at the top of the zone on the outside corner, 1-1. Good pitch.
Oh, wow.
That may have been his best slider of the night.
I think so. It had some horizontal break and some vertical break to it. Got it. Boy, that had Daniel waving at it. If you just replicate that same pitch, you get the same result. Don't overthrow it. And he overthrew it.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not so sure that didn't catch the inside corner though. It's close.
Well, it did catch part of the Subaru strike zone.
2-2. Descalso had a good year for the Rockies last season. Hit a career high 8 home runs, 264, drove in 38. Foul tip.
He caught it.
Caught it.
He caught it.
Nice job, Dustin Garneau. And he strikes out. Descalso, second strikeout. Watch Garneau. He popped it up, grabbed it with his bare hand. Atta baby. 2-1 Rocks. It's time for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. News and notes around the game. Yoenis Cespedes, that's not going to help the reeling Mets. He strained his hamstring yesterday. He was placed on the 10-day DL. Felix Hernandez is going to miss in the neighborhood of a month with shoulder bursitis. He went just 2 innings in his last outing. And their outstanding rookie, Mitch Haniger, is going to be gone a month with an oblique strain. And Patrick Mahomes, son of former Major Leaguer Pat Mahomes. You faced Pat Mahomes.
1 from 4, just saying.
There you go. Drafted 10th by the Chiefs yesterday, and he is the godson of our old friend LaTroy Hawkins. It's a first pitch strike to Kyle Freeland. Freeland in the top of the order in the 5th with the Rockies up 2-1. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Ryan Spilborghs. Spilly, I'm sure, is at some concession stand about right now. Ball's inside, 1-1. Good swing. 1-2.
Tardy with that swing.
And that's strike 3 on Freeland.
6th strikeout tonight.
He has struck out 3 in a row. Here comes Charlie Blackman. Charlie, a sharp ground ball to first, and he popped to shallow right. Blackman riding a 12-game hitting streak. Which is the second longest in baseball right now. I'll show you the list of guys that have hitting streaks going of late.
Sorry, his career high is 14.
So Mitch Haniger, who's going to be down for a while, is hitting 13 straight. Justin Turner, you know what kind of damage he can do, is hitting 13 straight. This ball is going to be caught. He hit it too good. Pollock makes the catch. Time for our Mako big hit. Tonight, the big hit supplied by the Rockies shortstop. He loves coming to Chase Field. He hit one out in his last at bat to center field. His 5th home run of the year, his 6th career home run in 10 games at Chase Field. That's the difference in the game right now with the Rockies up 2-1. You know, Buddy was saying before the ball game, and the last 3 games against the Nationals obviously were tough to watch. The Rockies were scoring runs. Rockies really swung the bats pretty well throughout that homestand. However, and I agree with what he said, he doesn't feel like they've hit their stride yet offensively. You know,
No.
obviously Story's not going to hit 175. That's what his average was coming in. Cargo was at 211 coming in.
No, you're gonna roll out, hit the top again as far as batting average.
That's 8 in a row, retired by Robbie Ray. Rockies up 2-1, middle of 5. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Now this is a ballpark known for its offensive exploits, but it's been well pitched tonight. Kyle Freeland and Robbie Ray, a couple of southpaws mixing it up, and the Rockies up 2-1. In the bottom of the fifth, it'll be Ray leading off, and then Pollock and Owens. Freeland at 71 pitches. And he misses there, ball one.
That's where you hope that Kyle can give you another couple innings, and you kind of forget about the last 3 games. It was just put it out. It's so yesterday, nothing you can do about it. But the one thing that you do have working in your favor is you didn't use your plus guys in those games.
Yeah, and I'm glad you pointed that out. It was a rough few days for the Rockies pitching staff, and their bullpen's ERA jumped a couple of runs because of how well Washington was swinging it. But the plus side guys, the late inning guys to protect leads, weren't utilized. This is going to drop, a base hit for Ray. It's been remarkable though that the pitchers have hurt the Rockies with the bat or with just walking the last few days. And Robbie Ray throws out a leadoff single in a 1-run game.
5th hit this year for Robbie, 5 for 9. He just reached out on that slow breaking pitch, dumped it into center. Excuse me, 5 for 10. Struck out in his first at bat.
500 works, right?
Yeah.
Pollock an infield hit. 1 for 2. So Pollock breaks his elbow last year on a slide opening day against the Rockies, right? Was it opening day or
no,
last game
the last game of spring, or the last couple games of spring training?
And something wasn't right. His elbow was bothering him, and he barely played in the spring. And then he had a slide. It didn't look like much, and he broke his elbow. Came back in September, and then had a pulled groin shortly after he came back. So he barely played last year. And
12 games. That was it.
Arizona.
I think it was in an exhibition game that they were playing at Chase Field.
That's right.
The Friday or Saturday before the Monday opener.
This is up the middle, and what a play by Story. He's going to get the force out. That is a great play by Story.
And that ball was first hit. That was ticketed for center field. Because remember, as a middle infielder, you're shortened up because you're in double play depth, and you have Pollock, who has great speed. So Trevor doesn't have the range that he would if he was playing back, but lunges and gets the ball at the last moment, and then still flips it to Pat, who relays it on to first. Now Pollock was saying, but how about this? Boom, he catches it right in the webbing. And that's what you need to make one of these plays. And then, oh, that ball almost trickled out. But you have to have that ball hit the webbing.
That is back up the middle for Owens. And Pollock stops at second. And you got 2 on for Goldschmidt with 1 out.
This is almost like deja vu from the 3rd inning. We're first and second with these 2 guys.
This part of the order has been mashing all year, especially at home, where the Diamondbacks have never been better than 11-3 to begin a season at home. That's where they stand right now.
Yeah, they're the only team in the major league with double-digit wins at home. It's a 786 win percentage at 11-3.
Goldschmidt a walk and a line shot right past the ear, basically, of Kyle Freeland to drive in a run in the 3rd. Good pitch. How about the WBC? Paul Goldschmidt was a member of the WBC Team USA, and he didn't play that much at first base.
Firepower sitting on your bench.
Well, Jim Leland went at the time with the hot hand, Eric Hosmer. I don't think there's, and this is not to be disrespectful of Eric Hosmer. He's a fine, fine player. I don't think there's a GM in baseball who would take Hosmer over Goldschmidt.
Pat understands the timing and pickoff plays. You know, he was primarily a shortstop at UCLA. He's played some second base. So you start to get that internal clock too in your head with a base stealer. How far can I be away? When do I flash? When do I go to the bag? So he doesn't get a walking lead. Make sure you freeze him.
Runners take off, throw to third, safe.
That one's on Kyle. That's now 29 stolen bases. It'll be the 8th for Pollock, the 7th for Chris Owing. The third, really strong throw, slide, the tag, everything, but got the foot in.
And Huey, now do you load him up for Tomas with the opportunity to turn 2 if you get a ground ball?
Maybe if it was 2-0, but 1-2,
1-2,
no.
you've got to go after him, I guess.
And hope you get a punch out.
But it's going to be a pitcher's pitch. I don't think Freeland is going to give him anything to hit.
For a big guy, too. Paul is so disciplined with his strike zone.
That's why he's been a career 300 hitter in the big leagues. Two. He probably caught more of the plate than honestly he wanted to.
Oh, and for Goldschmidt, see the league average and where he sits. Sees a lot of pitches, and you know, some guys will see a lot of pitches, but during that at bat it might be only 2 different pitches. But sometimes Paul, even in the 4 pitches that he sees, he might see 4 different ones.
Yeah. Broken bat pop-up, great pitch. He jammed him. Story's got it, an enormous second out. Not out of the woods yet. You have Tomas coming up.
They went up and in to Paul Goldschmidt. Freezing on contact. That was right off the label. Tried to pull the hands in. Watch the right elbow, drop down into the slot. Just trying to clear the hips all he can, but that was Kitchen City.
That was a big time pitch. Now reset your sights on Tomas. He's grounded out and hit a fly ball to fairly deep center field. Rockies trying to protect a 1-run lead inside. Ground ball to second. And Valleca throws in time. Well done, Kyle Freeland. He's pumped up as he leaves the field. Second and third, 1 out. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. He gets Goldschmidt, he gets Tomas. Rockies continue to lead. 6th inning. Did you know that 4 years ago this day, Nolan Arenado made his debut right here at Chase Field? He went 0 for 3 and a walk in his first big league game. Since then, he is tearing up the record book, or at least rewriting it. Major league record, most extra base hits ever by a third baseman, 89. That came in 2015. Yeah, just keep sending that Gold Glove to his address. 4 in a row. He's led home runs and RBIs each of the last 2 years. A double and a run scored in the first. He walked in the third.
Remember, he was playing just down the road in Tucson when he got called up. He was down there, AAA. And had to get the car to bring him up here.
That's right. Now I remember that. Wasn't there some issue? Was there some issue with the
issue? Something happened. Yeah, you're right. Like, Nolan is a beast.
The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. This date, 2013. And since his debut, he's first in extra base hits in baseball, second in home runs, second in ribbies, fourth in doubles. That's pretty good. Yeah, something happened with the guy who was driving him, broke down. He had to get another cab or something.
Can you imagine that? Going, hey, I'm getting called in the big leagues. It's like your worst dream.
Yeah, I'm not going to get there.
I can't get there.
Guy who's driving you, the car doesn't work. Not good. One and two. Robbie Ray has struck out 7. And now he has struck out 8, and he's retired 9 in a row. The last guy to reach was Nolan, who walked in the third. He has struck out 4 of the last 5. Actually, let me check that. 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, came into the game with 30 strikeouts. That was tied for 7th in the National League. Now at 38, he'll be moving up the ladder.
You're going to face 3 good arms in this series. Ray tonight, clearly. Zach Greinke tomorrow, and then Patrick Corbin, another left-hander, on Sunday. Base hit to drive in a run on a bouncer up the middle for Cargo in the first, and he grounded to second in the third inning. See the infield, no shift. I mean, that is conventional as you will see in the infield. Outfield and infield,
but overall,
straight up.
See how far the shift has come too, because overall there had already been more shifts up to this point than there were during the entire year of 2011.
This ball's lined to the corner and right, and Cargo's going to have himself a double. He's got to dig though, and he slides in safely. So Cargo with a 1-out double, and that snaps a string of 9 in a row set down. With Mark Reynolds coming up.
Second hit tonight for Cargo, the one up the middle. And he gets a hanging slider, and he belts to right field. Here's where you see a little bit of Peralta's arm, picks it up, makes his play pretty close at second.
That's why you always pay attention to scouting reports and every little bit of data. Cargo, you know, a lot of times a guy will hit a ball like that and they'll just assume it's, you know, a cruise double. Cargo was busting it the whole way. He knew that Peralta had the ability to make it a close play. Reynolds bounces this one to deep short. And there's 2 outs. Chris
Owings. It wasn't
Owings.
easy to play for Chris Owings, as one might think, with the guy diving in front of you. All you see is this flash. You don't know if he's going to catch it or not. And Owings stuck with it.
So here's Parra, ground ball to second. He tried to bunt his way on and was thrown out on a good play by Descalso. See See if Parra can come through with 2 outs. Give the Rockies that 2-run lead again. Last year, the Rockies hit 20 home runs here in 9 games. In fact, the Rockies hit 35 home runs against Arizona pitching last season. The only time they've hit more home runs against a single opponent in 1 year was back in 2001 when they hit 37 home runs against the Padres. That's before Petco.
Yes.
1-1. Still playing at Qualcomm. The former home.
Nobody's going to be playing at Qualcomm anymore.
I say sadly the former home of the Chargers.
I just feel bad for all the businesses and people that rely on that.
Bad for the fans.
Yeah.
One and two. Parra showing his disgust at that call.
We thought that pitch was high.
Not according to Subaru strike zone.
It wasn't.
I see what, usually breaking ball mask high, but it caught the top part of the zone.
RBI Baseball 17 returns with fast-paced action with all your favorite MLB teams, players, and ballparks. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com.
One and two on Parra with Cargo at second. It's a good block by Arenado.
Chris could always block the baseball.
He has the ideal frame to catch.
Doesn't he, though? It's just stocky.
Yeah, I mean, his back's like 6 feet wide. I don't even know why he has a chest protector on.
He could just play without it.
Parra goes down swinging. Cargo left at second. Middle of 6. The Rockies up 2-1.
Up 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, it's been 4 years since Nolan has made it to the major leagues in his debut, and who better than to describe that feeling than Nolan?
Couldn't sleep that night. I had my brothers, my friends call me like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. Don't call me. You know, I called my little brother and let him know I got called up, and he was like sleeping. So I told him, and I was like all pumped up, like, dude, I got called up, and he was like, oh, cool. Like, I'm like, all right, never mind. Thanks, dude. Thanks for being excited for me. So I hung up, and then I called my other brother, and he was all fired up, and my cousins were all fired up. They all like, you know, they drove down and stuff like that. It was a crazy night, and then, you know, the next day it was just a crazy time.
There's a base hit for Brandon Drury leading off the 6th inning. So the tying run is aboard against Freeland in the 6th. Go ahead, Spilly.
I think it's always funny when you hear different guys call out stories. My story happened in a parking lot on a day off. Marv Foley, the manager of AAA Colorado Springs, said, hey, Spilly, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I don't know, buying a new jacket to go on a first plane flight with AAA. And he goes, yeah, well, you're going to need it in Colorado. So you always hear these funny stories. I love the fact that his brother was like, that's cool, whatever. Go back to, it's too late.
Call me later. I just hit snooze.
Huey, do you have a good call-up story from when you were, do you remember?
No, because I just got called up from Double-A, and my manager, Tommy Thompson, called me and said, hey, you're going to the big leagues tomorrow. Now they make it fun and adventurous for these guys and try to really fool them. I think that's so cool.
It was really matter of fact, huh?
Yeah, it was like, okay, you got called up. Congratulations. And so I had to go out to the payphone, put 25 cents in, call collect to my wife.
You're really dating yourself.
I know, sorry, but we didn't have cell phones. I didn't have a calling card.
There's probably still a couple people on the list you want to call and say, hey, you know, I played 10 years in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Spilly, how the concessions treating you? We didn't hear you for 4 innings, by the way.
Oh, it was great. I always like the burger dog that they have fried up over here.
The burger dog? You making things up again?
They do.
It's made out of burger and real bits of dog. It's great.
Bits of dog? What is the matter with you?
Come on.
I don't know. I was hungry. That's all they had out here in the desert. It's not real bits of dog. It's just called a burger dog, and so I just think it's funnier when you say bits of dog in it.
Except for all the dogs named Spot out there. 2-2.
Now it'd be a good time for Kyle Freeland to get the 30th double play. The Rockies have turned 29, leading the National League. Chris Russin up just in case in the Rockies bullpen.
It's the second time Russin's been up. 92 pitches now for Freeland. Got to get Peralta here. 2-2. And this is a double play ball. There's one. There's two. What'd you call for?
I just ordered it.
There you go.
And they delivered.
It's like a burger dog.
It's just like Jimmy John's, just like that.
4-6-3. Nice job by Pat Valaika.
He caught it and then ever so slightly tossed it up to Trevor. He comes across the back at that double play. Get Kyle through this inning.
Arenado had a bloop single in the 4th. Chris is 1 for 2. He's a dangerous guy because he'll do that on first pitch fastballs. And you know, Chris, we were talking about him behind the plate. He's exceptionally strong. He's hit his share of home runs.
7 with Seattle last year. 63 with the Rockies.
Out of North Carolina by way of Rhode Island. On the ground to first. Mark Reynolds says, I'll take care of it. Nice job, Kyle Freeland. Gave up the leadoff hit to Drury. Got a double play ball behind that, and then another ground out. Well done, Kyle Freeland. Rockies leading as we go to the 7th. Pat Valaika leading off. Mark, thank you very much. The Yankees were down 8 runs in the 6th inning. It's their largest deficit they've overcome since coming from 9 back to beat Boston in 2012. Another footnote on that ball game. Kevin Gausman went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs for Baltimore. He started, Grandview High School product, and playing first base for the Yankees, Greg Bird, Grandview High School product. How about that?
Teammates.
They were teammates there, absolutely. 2-1.
Not sure there's going to be a whole lot of baseball being played back in the Rocky Mountains this weekend. Snow coming in. No snow down here.
No, but it's been 100 earlier in the week, but it's supposed to be just in the 80s, and you say, well, it's just in the 80s. It's really, when it's in the 80s here, it's pleasant. And a walk to Valaika leading off the 7th. And in between innings, this was the dugout. Kyle Freeland getting pats on the back from Buddy Black. Teammates did a great job. Dwayne Espy coming over. Here comes Stu Cole. Freeland, 7 shutout innings in his last outing. He comes here to Arizona, team averaging better than 7 runs a game at home, 11-3 at home. And he goes 6 innings, gives up just 1 run against that lineup.
Just 6 hits, 11 ground ball outs.
Just a tremendous performance for Freeland.
Now you're going to have a bunt from Dustin. That's why they threw over to see if he was going to tip it. But you know, this is a bunt situation because you're going to have DJ on deck.
Garneau, savvy guy, not revealing early.
Nope. But after 2 throwovers, you can do it here because he's going to come to the plate.
You're an odds guy.
I am an odds. And I'm betting. I'm going all in here.
He gets it down. Nice job by Garneau. You'd love to see baseball execution. And so now the Rockies will have a couple of swipes at getting Pat Valaika home. The first will come from the aforementioned DJ LeMahieu. So a rare non-start for DJ, getting the day off, but he figures to pinch hit and then go in defensively at second base as you get to the latter third of this baseball game.
Little things will do it for you. You get that leadoff walk, you sack over. Now 2 shots to get him in to extend the lead. Andrew Chafin and Randall Delgado, the righty and the lefty, up in the bullpen for Arizona. Chafin, the lefty.
DJ takes strike 1. 2 for 12 lifetime against Robbie Ray.
And again, there's nothing wrong with DJ. There's not a reason why.
Actually 4 for 19. Let me correct that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but DJ's fine. It's not like he's sick and that's why he didn't start. It was just a chance to get him off his feet for a few innings.
This ball lined to center field, pretty well hit, but it'll be caught out there by Pollock. And now tagging up is Valaika.
Well, you want to talk about little things, that tag up from Pat.
It's huge because of the propensity for Ray, if he stays in, to bounce breaking balls.
And he did it the right way. He took off. Then once he saw Pollock was going to catch the baseball, that's when Pat went back and tagged.
Charlie, a ground out, a pop out, and a line out, riding a 12-game hitting streak. And I will tell you, Huey, that if the game is on the line, you could pick one Rocky, say the tying runs at second or third to hit. You always want Nolan up there naturally. But I'll tell you what, right there with Nolan, I'd have Charlie Blackman, because he rarely, almost never, has a bad at bat.
No, and when he's riding also a 12-game hit streak. I mean, he's just locked in right now. That ball that he hit to center field in his last at bat was right on the line, just stayed up too long. He's got a good eye at the plate. The next pitch will be number 100 for Robbie.
Rays due up second next inning, so somehow, some way, this will be the end of the line. 2 outs, Valaika at third, 1-1 on Blackman.
Good eye. Takes such strong wrist to not swing at that ball. Telling yourself yes, 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 and then at the last moment, no. But did steal one there on the Subaru strike zone.
Two on Blackman. Down the line, base hit. Charlie makes it 3-1 as Valaika scores. And it is a 13-game hitting streak. Big 2-out knock from Chuck Nasty.
Partner, you were right on that one too. I mean, Charlie is money. Mr. Clutch. And it's all because he was able to lay off that pitch before. Playing off the line is Del Scalzo, and he smokes it past him on the glove side on his backhand.
His focus, his preparation is second to none. And let's not forget he can flat swing it also. 3-1 Rockies. So Randall Delgado comes in, Trevor Story at the plate, Blackman in a potential running situation is at first base. Charlie hasn't had a lot of opportunities to run. Just one stolen base thus far. He's doing a lot of trotting around the bases. That's why. Charlie just had a sharp single down the third base line to put the Rockies in front 3-1. Randall Delgado has had a rough start to the season.
Well, 8 ERA, 12 1/3 inning. He's given up 16 hits, 12 runs, 11 of them earned. As you see, batters are hitting .308 against him. He's given up 4 home runs.
Delgado last year was the busiest Diamondback out of their much maligned bullpen. He made 79 appearances, second most ever for a Diamondback. Way outside, that skips to the backstop, and Blackman in scoring position.
This is a classic wild pitch. Right, fastball, and that's the hardest one for a catcher. You're not expecting it to be that missed by that much. That's always the concern when somebody throws as many innings as Randall did, 79 last year. Might be fine that year. How is he going to be the next year? And so far, the early results are not good for Arizona.
2-1.
Hey, if he can tack on another run here, how huge would that be? They scraped the run out here. You had the leadoff walk, then the sack, the fly out where Pat then advanced to third. Charlie, this 24th ribby from the leadoff spot. There you go. Take the insurance, and there we go. That's a cross up.
Yeah.
Chris was expecting some off-speed pitch, and he got the fastball.
That is frustrating for a catcher.
It's so hard.
And 99% of the time, it's the pitcher who messes it up, because the catcher you think has a pretty good idea what sign he flashed.
You know, am I going last sign? Am I going second sign or first sign after 2? Or those are primarily the 3 ones that relief pitchers like to use.
(3-1) on Story. Story a home run to center field back in the third, his 5th of the year.
Trevor's hoping he'll get another pitch like that last one in the Subaru strike zone.
Delgado strikes out Story to end the inning, but the Rockies tack on a run. Blackman comes through to bring home Valleca. Middle of 7th, 3-1 Rockies. Time for our Kubota pitching performance. A tip of the cap to Denver's own Kyle Freeland. 6 innings, a 1-run baseball, 6 hits. Walked a couple, struck out a couple. Another fine performance for Chris, so he's given up just 1 run over his last 13 innings. He's on the plus side. The Rockies hand it off to the bullpen. And initially, it'll be Chris Russin. This is where you'd probably see Mike Dunn. Mike on the disabled list with back spasms. Just trying to get that calmed down. Chris will get Daniel Descalso. Then you'll get a pinch hitter and A.J. Pollock. Now, at the same time that Russin was warming up, Adam Ottavino was also. So this may be just for the lefty here, Descalso. We'll see.
And they have Chris Sherman on deck, another left-hander. So maybe he gets these first 2, and then you ask Adam to come in, get the last out of this inning, and then 3 outs in the 8th. But first things first, it's got to be up to Chris to do this.
And to your point, the 5 bench players today for Arizona, the 2 right-handed hitters, Jeff Mathis, the catcher, and Nick Ahmed, shortstop, who's better known for his glove. So the formidable guys at the disposal of Torey Lovullo are on the left side. Herman, Jake Lamb, and Jeremy Hazelbaker.
And that's why then Buddy went to the lefty.
And he gets the strikeout, Russin does, of Descalso. Now Buddy is a master at using his bullpen.
And I think that's shown here early in the season. The way he seems like he's 2 steps ahead of the opposing manager, or at least he knows what he's going to go to. And always checking that lineup card that's specially made just for him. He makes notes on it, but also looking. And that's the thing for a manager. You got to look 2 steps, 3 steps ahead. You got to be proactive, not reactive.
And you saw just off to the left of Buddy is there's Stu Cole, and Stu is aligning his infield. That's why Stu's standing right there, and he's looking at scouting reports on Chris Herman. 1 ball, 1 strike. This guy's a good athlete. He can go play center field in the first 3 innings and then go catch the rest of the way if you need him to. This is going to roll foul.
While we have a moment, we'll tell you that individual game day suites and party facilities are now on sale. Coors Field has something for everyone and every budget. Go to Rockies.com/suites for more information.
By the way, Valaika is still in at second base, and that is a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Russin of the 2 lefties. Descalso and the pinch hitter Herman, and here comes Buddy on the jog to the mound. He'll bring in Adam Ottavino now. Good hard slider.
Herman didn't stand a chance. Both lefties is when Chris was called upon it. He did his job with a couple punch outs.
Well done, Chris Russin. 2 outs in the 7th. 3-1 Rockies. Alexis look back. Cargo in the first inning with 2 outs. Bounce one up the middle. Nolan, who had hit a double, comes home. Rockies had a 1-0 lead, and then it was story time. He loves Chase Field. His 6th career home run at Chase Field. 2-0 Colorado. 2-1 when Charlie Blackman last inning with 2 outs brought home Pat Vallejo with an opposite field hit. It also extended Chuck's hitting streak to 13 games. You're up to date. 2 outs, nobody on. A.J. Pollock. And the sliders outside from Ottavino.
For Adam, 1.93 ERA, 12 strikeouts, just 4 walks. Still probably hasn't been as crisp control-wise as he wants. But always finds a way to get out of it.
And his release point off on the first 2 sliders by quite a bit. It's 2-0. This is set up perfectly in that Ottavino will get 4 outs in a perfect world from Buddy Black's perspective. Pollock, a right-handed hitter, then Owings, Goldschmidt, Tomas, Drury, all right-handed hitters.
Wow.
But it's 3-0. And all season, really going back to spring training, it's been a battle for Adam.
It comes and goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes. He's been successful, but he has not been, and he'd be the first to admit this, he has not been sharp yet. And that is called inside. So a 4-pitch walk to Pollock.
I guess that last one was off the Subaru strike zone, but the one before that was there.
So here's Chris Owens, terrific athlete.
Last year he had to slide out to center field after A.J. Pollock was hurt. Adam, I don't worry a whole lot about A.J. If he's going to take off, he's going to take off.
Yeah, he just threw it up the right field line, and he's going to end up at third base. And this puts a lot of heat on Dustin Garneau. Or now they're going to say just second base because he went out of play.
But I think you might get an argument from Torrey coming out asking why just second base. That's what I'm saying. There wasn't any reason for him to be messing around with A.J. with 2 outs.
Yeah, you know, I understand it in a 1-run game, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But 2 outs, you got the guy at the plate. Torrey got the explanation that he wanted.
No, he didn't get
well,
the
not
explanation. He got the explanation. Not that he wanted.
No. But for the Rockies, it was good.
And taken off for third is A.J. Pollock. And Ottavino has not thrown a strike yet.
He's tried 3 sliders. None of those have been for a strike. For Pollock, that's his 9th stolen base, number 30 for Arizona.
And he has to be 100% sure he's going to be able to swipe that bag. Six straight out of the zone. The Rockies have the 10th most walks in baseball coming in. That was the hacked off fastball at 96.
And that's the one you'd like to see from the first pitch.
Do you think he gets a little too slider happy?
I do at times, especially coming out when you have a 2-run lead.
And he's got a plus fastball with movement. Cargo's going to give it a look. He's not going to have a play.
No, but then you see the difference. Once he throws that fastball first strike, what happens? He comes back with that slider, and it's a better slider.
And he found maybe a release point. Yep. 2-2. Such a cerebral guy. I keep telling you that he will figure it out. You know he will. He's got a long track record now of success.
Started at that front hip. Start that slider right there and work it away.
2-2. 3-2.
Right, 55% of the time does Adam throw the slider to the right-handers.
Here's the 3-2. And it's on the ground. What a pickup by Nolan. What a pickup end of inning. He had to come get it, got the short hop, and Arenado terminates the inning. And the Rockies will take a 3-1 lead to the 8th. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Rockies leading 3-1, top of the 8th inning. The meaty part of the order coming up, led by Nolan Arenado, who got the Rockies off the field with another routine play for Nolan.
Well, and we'll even slow it down on the Subaru Supermo. The short hop into the glove, buries the head. Now you know you have time. Make sure you get a good grip on that baseball, and he does. See how he grabbed it across the seams? That'll give her a truer throw to first base, and you get Chris Owing by 3 steps.
I want to tell you what. I think that was our low first camera. That was exceptionally well done.
Nice work.
Tom Wilhelmsen, the former Seattle Mariner, did some closing up there. Now in the bullpen for Arizona, and he spikes a breaking ball. 1-0 on Arenado. Cargo behind him. Mark Reynolds, Gerardo Parra, hopefully a bunch of others.
For a guy that's close, he does throw 3 different pitch: fastball, slider, curveball. We'll mix in a change. Pretty high ERA for Tom. Large whip. Right-handers hitting .333 off of Wilhelmsen.
This ball is lined to deep right field, but it's going to be caught out there by Peralta. to bring up cargo. Wilhelmsen is a very interesting story, and perhaps you've heard it, perhaps not, because he was pitching over in the American League. He was out of organized baseball between 2005 and 2009. Breaking ball is outside. He was bartending at the Hut, a tiki bar in Tucson. And he was traveling around the States and Europe. And he went to a tryout, and he still had a huge arm. It's almost like the rookie. He touched upper 90s. And not only did he get signed, but he was quickly to the big leagues with Seattle. And, Ryan Spilborgh's not surprisingly, you mentioned a watering hole, and Spill, he goes, yep, check that one off the list, been there. This ball is bounced to the short fielder.
So the Hut in Tucson is known for its Scorpion Bowl, which I don't know what's in it, but you cannot have more than one, let alone half of one. Even more famous at the Hut is the Komodo dragon that hides behind a glass wall that's at that place. So, yeah, I love that. Love that spot. I've supported it for quite a few years when we had a place in Tucson.
Right. Scorpion Bowl?
Yeah, you can only have one.
You can only have one.
But there were times you tried to have more than one, correct?
No. I know my limits, Drew. I know my limits, and I know if I would have had two, I probably would have tried to hand feed the Komodo dragon.
Never a good idea.
You know what? I would have paid for your second bowl to see that.
Curveball's a strike on
You're an
Reynolds.
enabler. That's not good.
I'm sorry.
How about I just buy you a light beer later? Would that
that'll suffice. Yes.
That'll suffice. Okay. That's a called strike.
It's really nice sat next to each other on the plane flight down here yesterday, but he was busy doing work. Didn't talk much.
Didn't?
No.
Wasn't a social butterfly?
Wasn't a social butterfly. Which is so unusual.
I was working on editing something.
I know.
And Reynolds goes down, so Wilhelmsen works a clean 8th inning. The Rockies lead 3-1. Paul Goldschmidt will lead off for Arizona when we come back. Club. We take a look back at the top 5 moments of April. We'll flash back as well to the first game in Coors Field history. And Vinny Castilla grabs the lumber and takes BP, all in the name of science. Catch the latest episode of the club. That's Sunday, immediately following the post-game show right here on Root Sports. Paul Goldschmidt is behind 0-1 to Adam Ottavino. Goldschmidt, Tomas, Drury, all right-handed hitters with the Rockies +2 on the scoreboard. Ottavino throws a fastball. It's outside, 1-1.
Yeah, but the first pitch to Paul was a fastball, 94 miles an hour. I like that. We got through the first couple guys of this lineup.
If you're going to face Goldschmidt, you'd like him to come up with nobody on. Leading off, and he is out of there. That'll bring up Tomas with 1 out.
Well, this year has a special theme day ticket package for everyone, including Star Wars Night, Yoga Day, Brewfest, Marvel Superhero Night, and more. Visit Rockies.com/theme dates for more information.
Here's Tomas, 0 for 3. Good slider. Otto's funny, man. All of a sudden, it may take 6, 7 pitches. He finds the release point.
Took him 11 pitches, no, excuse me, 10 pitches last inning.
And there's the heater at 95 on the outside corner. When he's got both going, especially to righties, it's lethal. Because it's not just a mid-90s fastball. You see it's got a lot of movement to it. And I like that particular pitch because he elevated.
And where he steps, too.
Crossfires in a big way.
It's not something you would teach, but it's natural to him.
Did he go? Nope, 1-2. This Arizona team, we've been telling you about their offensive exploits at home in particular, averaging better than 7 runs a game.
First in the major leagues.
They've hit 27 home runs this year. 21 have come at Chase Field,
which is second in the major leagues.
He got him on a slider, 2 outs. That's the wiffle ball slider. That's good luck.
That's the you can't touch this. Right ahead the count, and that's where you want to throw it when you have 2 strikes.
And now the second baseman, Brandon Drury, 1 for 3. Had a fine rookie year last year to Drury. At 16 home runs, drove in 53 with 31 doubles, 282 batting average.
Talk about a guy that played all over the place too. Some second, some third, some outfield.
Well, he's going to find a spot because he can hit. One and two.
Oh, the good old hip side slider.
It's like he's a different guy in this inning, right?
I mean, it's dotting the Subaru strike zone all over. All 3 pitches. Even one that was called the ball.
1-2 on Drury. Two. Got him, didn't he? Ooh, man. Ottavino was jogging to the dugout. It was inside, I guess.
Adam was 3 strides off the mound and had to put on the brakes. Just worked around the corner.
And he pops him up. Pat Valleca, look out. He's communicating with Mark Reynolds. He makes the catch. Terrific job by Adam Ottavino. 1-2-3, 8th inning, off to the 9th with the Rockies ahead 3-1. Gerardo Parra is going to face TJ McFarland. Who wants tacos, fans? Follow at @RootsSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs in a ball game. McFarland, one of 3 lefties that Arizona employs in their bullpen right now.
He just purchased his contract prior to the game.
Well, last
season with Baltimore.
And he had trouble with command last year. He walked 10.
He was on the
in
DL.
24 innings.
DL a couple times with left knee inflammation. Fastball will be average right at 92, changeup about 85, slider and curveball both at 80.
One pitch and 1 out. Greg Holland getting loose for the Rockies.
Well, don't forget, kids, you can join the big leagues by signing up for the Rockies Rookies Kids Fan Club. Open to kids 15 and under. Get discounted Rockies tickets, access to members-only events, and much, much more.
Valleca getting the start at second base. 0 for 2 and a walk. He would come around to score the 3rd run in the 7th inning on a 2-out base hit from Charlie Blackman. Rockies trying to improve to 8-3 out on the road. It's one of the best marks in baseball. Back up the middle. McFarland knocks it down, and he'll get Valleca still.
Sometimes you find the ball, other times the ball finds you. He put the glove up behind his back to knock this down. Let's just stick a glove out to see if I can catch it or knock it down, and he did. And the other thing too, Drew, besides going 8-3 out on the road, they have a chance to go 7-2 against a left-handed starter.
Good numbers. Garneau, deep drive to left, robbed of probably a double by Yasmani Tomas. Got a bunt down in the 7th inning to move Valleca along. And this ball's hit a ton to center field. Going back is Pollock, and it is off the top of the wall. And Garneau wisely will stop at second, already in scoring position. So Dustin almost hit it out to dead center field.
Should have 2 doubles tonight. Remember, in his first at bat was robbed in left field by Tomas, and here on the changeup stays back and drills this to center field. And Pollock's going back. Well, better stop about 3/4 of the way up, just below that yellow line. And now you get the pinch hitter, Christian Adames.
Now it'd be a wonderful time for Christian to get what has been that elusive first hit of the year. He's 0 for 12. He's thrown out some good at bats lately. In fact, a couple days ago I thought he had his first knock, and the second baseman stole a hit from him on a sharp ground ball up the middle. 2 outs.
But of those 12 at bats, 8 of them have come pinch hitting. 0 for 5 hitting right-handed, 0 for 3 lefty. Come on, Christian, come through.
It almost looked like he wanted to see what it looked like. He took a pitch, and it's so nice when you can take one and get ahead in the count, as opposed to you're going to look at one, now you're behind 0-1.
And I thought the other day when he had a 6, 7, 8 pitch at bat hitting left-handed, eventually walked in the game, was another good sign.
That's out of play. been a well-pitched game. Kyle Freeland allowed just a run on 6 hits in 6 innings. Bullpen's been outstanding. Chris Russ and Adam Ottavino. Rockies have 3 runs on 6 hits. 2-1. Hey, look at this. Jeff Hoffman, a terrific line tonight for the Topes. No runs, 1 hit, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Great to see.
Really nice to see.
Here's the 2-1. Rockies with an abundance of young talent, youngest rotation in baseball. And you know, for Jeff Hoffman, it's, you know, he sees the Marquezes and the Freelands and the Senzatellas doing their thing, and
hey,
he wants to be part of it.
With that youngest rotation, it's 24 years and 226 days. The way it's calculated.
2-2. Called strike 3 on Adames. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be Greg Holland time, looking for his 10th save in the month of April. 3-1 Colorado. The Rockies have a 3-1 lead going to the bottom of the 9th in the first matchup this year between Colorado and Arizona. Rockies trying to flip back into first place in the division. Most saves in April, all time for the Rockies. 2011, Houston Street with 10. Greg Holland trying to match that. Shares 9 with LaTroy Hawkins. We're talking about Hawk earlier in the ball game.
For Greg, he's been off since the game on Monday against Washington.
Yep, so he's got a fresh arm. He'll face David Peralta, Chris Iannetta, and then Daniel Descalso. Those are the 3 scheduled, 6, 7, and 8. And he gets a swing on a slider in the dirt. It's 0-1. Sometimes hitters with
he just sold out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but down to take a strike, no?
Depends on the closer. If a guy that throws a lot of strikes, then probably not. If he's going to be wild, or you think he will be, then you would take it.
Where's that? 1-1. A little bit low at 96. Next time out, we tell you the velocity is returning for Greg Holland. Sharply hit, but on the line is Reynolds. 1 out in the 9th.
Smooth.
He is smooth, isn't he? What are the other changes, Huey? And describe for the audience the difference. You were a shortstop by trade, and I believe you used an 11.5-inch glove.
Yeah.
Then on the occasions that you'd go over to first base, you have this long, different glove. Was it hard to feel ground balls initially?
A little bit, because with the first baseman, you don't want to a lot of times use 2 hands, which is counterintuitive to what you're taught as a middle infielder. You just kind of go with the big one hand.
It's got to be different.
It
huh?
is.
Here's Arenado.
But the one thing you do have at first, the advantage is you can just knock it down.
Got some time.
You got some time. You don't have to worry about then, coming up and throwing it up 120 feet or whatever it may be across the diamond.
Mark Reynolds got a bag full of gloves. 1-1. In fact, Pat Valaika, when he was in left field the other day, was using Mark Reynolds' outfield glove. Of course, go back a couple of years, Mark Reynolds probably didn't have an outfield glove, so he was borrowing somebody else's.
Right, he got it from somebody else. But now I'll just go ahead and order one. You never know.
And that, I'm sure, is what's happened with Valaika. I guarantee there's an outfield glove on its way. 1-1. Good pitch. That may have been the split.
It's hard to tell. I mean, it's so hard because he's got 3 sliders, or 1 slider that go 3 different directions.
Yeah, it's not a split.
No, it's a slider.
One and 2. And this is a towering pop-up. Valaika is going to be called off. Cargo's got it. 2 outs. Nobody on in the 9th.
Cargo did the right thing. Pat ran back their way. It's Cargo easier play. It's so comforting to know when you have somebody like Greg Holland, experienced guy, already 9 for 9 this year. This is you and I talked about this prior to coming on the air. I thought this was an important game for them.
Huge game. And we're going to talk about that hopefully right in a moment after out number 27. Here's Descalso. Daniels 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. And that is strike 1.
But it all started on the hill with Kyle Freeland giving you 6 strong.
It always does.
It does. And then it sets up everything else, how you play and how you manipulate the bullpen.
Bullpens, you build backwards. You start with your 9th inning guy and work from there. And the Rockies now have a bona fide guy in the 9th inning. Here's the 1-1. 1 and 2. It's an assortment of pitches. Houston Street is a 3-pitch closer and has the highest save percentage in Rockies history. He doesn't throw nearly as hard as Holland. Some closers are 1 or 1.5 pitch guys. Greg's truly a 3-pitch closer, but all 3 of his pitches are plus pitches.
But he's got the velo to make it also a hard fastball.
Yep. 1-2 on Descalso. He's got him. Ooh, foul tip. Nope. Thought he went and there was no contact.
Just got a piece of this. Get the separate out of the glove.
One and 2 on Descalso. This shoots away, and with time, Garneau throws to first, got his foot down, ball game over. Greg Holland on 12 pitches, a 1-2-3 9th, and the Rockies with a very gratifying 3-1 victory over the Diamondbacks to begin this road trip. And I'll tell you what, you led to it a moment ago, partner. This was in many ways the biggest win of the young season, given what had occurred at Coors Field the last 3 days.
But it shows some moxie by this ball club to come out here and win a game 3-1 against Arizona that plays well at home, 11-3, now 11-4. Very nice win, boys.
It was a terrific victory for the Rockies, and it began with Kyle Freeland's 6 outstanding, and the Rockies got just enough done offensively, and they get to shake hands. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game with the Rockies up 1-0. Trevor Story, who loves coming to Chase Field, hits a monstrosity of a home run to dead center. That made it 2-0 Colorado on their way to a 3-1 victory tonight. Freeland gets the victory. Kyle is now 3-1 in his 3-1 in his freshman season in the big leagues. And Robbie Ray, who pitched well, has handed his first loss of the season. He is now 2-1 and 10 April saves, 10 for 10 for Greg Holland. 3-1 Rockies. We go back to our Root Sports studios. Here's Mark.